Hello guys, my name is John and I've been lost for quite some time because I've been trying to figure out some few things. I really don't watch news, but today I feel like maybe I needed to talk about something very important. See, yesterday I tuned in just to see what has been happening in this country called Kenya, right? And I feel like maybe it's a high time that we talk about the politics. And so two things struck my mind, and I feel like it's important for us to talk about them. One of them being selling of Kenyan passports. I don't know whether you really understand the intensity of selling passports belonging to a country. See, Kenyan passports are the real identity of people who are born and have legal residence in Kenya and who claim Kenya to be their own country, maybe of birth or naturalization or marriage or something like that. But recently there has been reports of officials selling Kenyan passports to foreigners, and that's a tragedy. You may never understand the intensity of this, but you know, for the active travelers and people who travel a lot, the Kenyan passport tags the country. And so if we sell Kenyan passport to foreigners, and maybe they are criminals and they go to do the criminal activities in those countries, it will be labeled that Kenyans are criminals. And the result will be Kenyans might fail on opportunities just because criminals have taken Kenyan passports and they have indulged in criminal activities. So that has been done under the current regime. See, there has been reports of the government knowledge about this, because it has been reported that some of the government officials, including the DCI and the immigration officers, they've been paid a huge sum of money amounting to like 20,000 Kenyan shillings and others 50,000 Kenyan shillings per head. The government knows this because some of the beneficiaries of this, they are high-ranking officials, and therefore they have connections with the government and the immigration officers. Now, the second news was about Kenyans being shipped and flown out in Russia for the military purposes. Now, that is something that I kind of knew, because back in the time, Russians say that Africans are free to travel to Russia, and that is something that many Africans were happy about. But I saw that as a red flag. I knew that something has been cooked. But little did we know that it's an enticement for Africans to go and fight for Russia against the Ukraine. And so what happens is that if Africans go there, they are put in the front lines, and you know, when you in the front lines, the bullets are flying over your head, and chances are you are the first person to die since you are in the front lines. So many Africans, and of course Kenyans, they have been put there, and the government really knew. So I am walking towards this road, just being disrupted by people around here, so I feel like maybe I need to pause and walk a little bit. But as I was speaking, see, when news spread all over Africa that Africans are free to travel to Russia, it came as a good news. But for me, I knew that this is not something really good, because there has never been a time in recent history that the Caucasians really want to be associated with the black people, especially in the recent news after everything was overturned. That's a history that we have to speak another day. So when Kenyans got the opportunity, there has been agencies which have been reported that they established themselves around Nairobi and the surrounding environment, and they were recruiting people to Russia. And actually, many Kenyans did not know what they were up to. Some of them were given scholarships, while others were offered opportunities to just work as other personnel. But when you reach Russia, things change. Others knew they were heading to go to offer military services, but of course, you know, with the economic depression that we are facing right now, many people are willing to just risk their lives, and that's how they went there. Now the problem is, these agencies were working alongside the government, and there has been reports that most of these agencies were paying the government officials, including the DCI's officers, the DCI officers and the immigration officers, 20,000 Kenyan shillings per head and 50,000 Kenyan shillings per head. This is all over the news. You can watch it for yourself, and especially the Citizen TV. It was aired yesterday, so you might want to go and check that out for more detailed information. And so these are some of the things that have been happening in this country. And I was wondering, you see, this just some of the reports that came from a whistleblower. I was wondering what else is happening just behind the corridors of power. I think it's the high time that we take the responsibility of this country and just take down this repressive and the regime that is not working for Kenyans, and just say enough is enough. We might not be able to take it by force, but we have the votes. Maybe it's a high time that we just take it by diplomacy. I think that's the end, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Till next time, peace and love.